There's snakes in the garden, blood on the vines. I can't wait anymore. I can't wait anymore.
Oh, hi! I didn't see you there. Now look to your left. Now back at me. Now to your right. Now back at me. You're not watching an Old Spice commercial. You're watching a lesson on the Culper spy ring. Here, me and my friend Nona
Hi.
are going to teach you a lesson on the Culper spy ring.
Yes.
Now, let's start.
I'm not John Green, but I do know some stuff about the Culper spy ring that I'd like to share with you. So the ring was founded in 1776 to get information on the British during the Revolution. So the British were actually in New York during this time. So the spy ring was actually the best spy ring on either side of the war, and it operated successfully for 5 years, during which no spy was actually unmasked. So they operated in a number of places, including Rose Tavern, Woodhull's Barn, all of which are located in Setauket, Long Island. One important famous figure in the ring is named Nathan Hale. Hale was a young spy and a martyr of the Revolutionary War. He was caught and executed on September 22nd, 1776. On the day of his execution, he was denied a clergyman and a Bible, and his last words were, "I only regret that I have but one life to lose for my country." His death led Washington to support the spy ring. So another major figure in the spy ring is Major Benjamin Talmadge. He was the founder of the ring, and he founded it in Setauket, Long Island. George Washington appointed Talmadge to be the Director of Military Intelligence in November 1778. He and Washington developed a secret code to relay information. Talmadge enlisted friends he met at school in Long Island, including Austin Rowe, Caleb Brewster, Abraham Woodhull, and Anna Strong, and he's the one who gave them all their code names. Talmadge's alias was John Bolton, and actually Washington didn't know the identities of the key spies under Talmadge.
So Woodhull was one of the top spies under Talmadge. He naturally had an alias, which was Samuel Culper Sr., which he named after the Culper spy ring. But originally he was a farmer who didn't outwardly support the American cause. In fact, he was pretty neutral about it. But one day he was caught trading with the British by the Continental Army, and was thrown into the Continental Jail. Talmadge had secured him an early release without punishment, and to return the favor, Woodhull became his spy. Now, originally, the British relied heavily on goods that they obtained from farmers, whether that be for trading or just stealing. So instead of trading for profit, Woodhull traded for secrets. But he didn't really tell the British that, because then he would be executed, which sucks. So he listened in and observed the British soldiers, who would naturally just gossip to one another without thinking anything of it. And as a result, he was able to report many of his findings to Talmadge. Now, today, there is a TV series on AMC called Turn. It is about the life of Abraham Woodhull, and I would recommend it because it's pretty awesome.
So another important figure was Robert Townsend. His alias was Samuel Culper Jr. He had the same handwriting and used the same paper as Woodhull, or Samuel Culper Sr. Townsend was recruited by Woodhull because suspicions were being raised about Woodhull's trips to Manhattan. Unlike Woodhull, though, Townsend didn't use code. He wrote in between the lines of indiscriminating papers, letters disguised as blank sheets, within packages of paper carried by Austin Rowe. He disguised himself as a loyalist coffee shop owner and merchant, when in actuality he was a reporter who gathered information on the British at public gatherings.
Was another one of Talmadge's spies. Her nickname or alias was Lady or 355. She often used her laundry as a signal to other spies, most of the time them being Austin Rowe as he was the messenger. This would tell them of an incoming drop. This could be anything ranging from ink to paper, even blank pieces of paper. She often hung black laundry out on the clothesline as a signal. Most of the time, suspicions were diverted from her just because she was a woman. Sexist, right?
Very. Caleb Brewster was also enlisted by Talmadge. He was the captain of a whaleboat, and a military man. He also helped lead the spy ring to success by navigating waters full of conflict. Brewster could easily attack and escape British ships due to his experience at sea. He also knew Talmadge's younger brother, fun fact, and he delivered correspondence between Setauket and Fairfield, Connecticut.
Many successes of the Culper spy ring was that they discovered the treachery of Benedict Arnold. He was a British spy. Arnold betrayed the Americans and offered up West Point to the British Army during the Revolutionary War. Originally, Arnold was on the side of the Americans. He was one of Washington's most trusted generals. However, to fuel his own personal needs, he began bargaining with the British. The British had paid him £10,000 for his information.
So, the Culper Codebook had a number of entries. In fact, it had 763 numbers that represented words, places, and names. These were entirely made by Washington and Talmadge. This was not the only form of communication, however. The ring used invisible ink in their messages, and the spies had a number of aliases. They got this special ink from Washington himself. The invisible ink was made from iron sulfate dissolved in water, commonly used as moss killer. It was undetectable by heat or light, and could only be seen if sodium bicarbonate, baking powder, was sprinkled over it to initiate a chemical reaction.
Woo!
Michelle, would you like to do the honors?
Not really, but I will. Okay, so here it goes. 7/29, 29, 15th, 1779. Sir D.B., agreeable to 28, met 723 not far from 727, and received a 356. But upon his return was under the necessity to destroy the same, or be detected. But have the satisfaction to inform you that there's nothing 317 to 15 you of. There's no argumentation by 592 of 680, or 347 forces, and everything is very quiet. Every 356 is opened at the entrance of 727, and every 371 is searched. For the future, every 356 must be 691 with the 286 received. They have some 345 of the route our 356 takes. I judge it was mentioned in the 356 taken, or they would not be so 660. I do not think it will continue so long. I intend to visit 727 before long, and think by the assistance of a 355 of my acquaintance shall be able to outwit them all. The next 28 for 725 to be here is one of 616 very long, but it cannot be altered now. It is on account of their 660 that it is so prolonged. It may be better times before then. I hope there will be means found out for our deliverance. Nothing can induce me here but the earnest desire of 723. Friends are all well, and I am your very humble servant, 722.
The Culper spy ring mystery document was written on August 15, 1779. It was written by Samuel Culper Sr., or Abraham Woodhull, and was most likely addressed to Talmadge, who would later pass on the message to George Washington.
So the purpose of this document, like every other document written by the ring, was to inform Talmadge of the troop movement of the British around New York. The letter also addresses the willingness of Sir D.B., later known to be Jonas Hawkins, and his support of the spy ring. He was considered to be an informal member of the spy ring, so he didn't really have an alias. It was just more like a jumbled up mixture of words.
Okay.
They can't even see me unless I go
Okay.
like this,
I need to get my glasses.
and then like this, and like hello, good evening.
Oh, it's still recording? It just recorded me doing all of that. How do you stop it? It's not stopping.
He had a series named after him, AMC series to be exact. It's actually a favorite of mine that I stopped watching after the first episode. It's called Turn. You should watch it. I highly recommend it.